Spoiler warning. Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix has done a fantastic job of bringing the titular cartoon series to life, producing 10 incredibly memorable moments in the process. In 2005, Avatar: The Last Airbender made its Nickelodeon debut. It soon gained enormous popularity and was followed by an unsuccessful live-action film version in 2010. Avatar: The Last Airbender's second season was revealed shortly after the first season's release, indicating that Netflix's adaptation has had more luck. Part of the reason the show has been so successful is that, by the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 1, longtime fans will have been treated to a veritable flood of Easter eggs and perfectly recreated scenes. The Last Airbender's excellent cast also does incredibly well to make the live-action characters feel like their animated counterparts. Consequently, Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 1 delivers 10 perfectly nostalgic moments that evoke fond memories of the animated series.
Remember back at the Southern Air Temple when you said we had to go with Aang?
Subscribe to Movie Spy for more twist videos. The cart of the cabbage merchant is destroyed in the original series. The merchant's cabins are continuously destroyed. There are many wise sayings in the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, but there are also some ridiculous ones. One that springs to mind is the well-known chant, "My cabbages," which originates from the particularly unfortunate cabbage vendor that Team Avatar frequently encounters. This unhappy merchant frequently finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong moment, with his goods being destroyed out of the blue. His outraged cry became a recurring theme in the first season. So when the cabbage trader appeared in Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender alongside his trademark cry of surprise, longtime fans of the cartoon series felt a wave of nostalgia. The recurring joke from the original show was so integral to its humorous identity that it had to be included, even if it may seem like a minor detail. Furthermore, it's easy to bring back childhood memories of laughing at this dumb running joke for fans of the animated series who grew up watching the live-action version. Just before Sokka makes his sarcastic statement, Aang clumsily runs into a statue. Sokka calls Aang the savior of the world. In Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's also a hilarious scene where Sokka calls Aang the world's savior after the latter crashes into a statue while demonstrating a bending skill. Fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender were concerned that Netflix could find it difficult to adapt the show's wild elements to live action, but when this scene appeared in the teaser, it gave them hope that the streaming service would be able to handle the challenge. This sequence captures Sokka's sardonic attitude from the original show brilliantly, and it also properly captures the relationship between Sokka and Aang. It's also an early indication that the program is staying loyal to the characters, and the fact that the script used the exact same lines from the animated series added a nostalgic touch. This moment gives viewers the distinct impression that Sokka, the animated character, has come to life and been plopped into their living rooms. In Omashu, Aang and Bumi ride the delivery carts. When they were younger, Aang and Bumi rode these carts. Longtime viewers of Avatar: The Last Airbender will find themselves nostalgic throughout Aang's whole interaction with Bumi in Season 1, but their trip down the enormous ramps of the Omasha delivery system will always evoke the most fond memories. This sequence demonstrates that, despite Bumi's small changes in the Netflix series, the fun-loving aspect of Aang's old friend, which is essential to his character, was preserved in the remake. The rides down Omasha's delivery ramps in the original series are some of the most memorable scenes in the show, which makes this a sentimental moment for fans of the remake. The scene is made even more rewarding by seeing the journey of Aang and Bumi's friendship play out, ending on a positive note as they ride the ramps together. The Last Airbender may have some more nostalgic moments than this, but many of them. Zuko is allowing Aang to go in order to save Iroh soldiers from Earth Kingdom and capture Iroh. Zuko and Iroh's connection is among the most significant in the first Avatar: The Last Airbender. In the original show, once Iroh gets taken prisoner by a group of Earth Kingdom soldiers, Zuko gives up on trying to get hold of Aang in order to save his uncle. This is a huge moment because it demonstrates how much Zuko genuinely loves his uncle, despite the fact that he doesn't always treat him nicely. It was imperative that the Netflix version feature a sequence that is comparable in light of this. Netflix did not let me down. Despite significant differences, the story is nearly the same. Zuko pursues his uncle despite having the opportunity to pursue the Avatar. When Zuko and Iroh stand side by side, exactly mimicking their relationship in the anime series, goosebumps appear. Even without the association with the cherished animation, this sequence would still be poignant, but the fact that it does makes it one of the most touching scenes in the Avatar: The Last Airbender remake. The song "The Cave of Two Lovers," a group of nomads, performs this unexpectedly catchy song. Fans of Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender were nevertheless treated to the classic song about the infamous cave, which consists largely of the surprisingly catchy chorus of "Secret Tunnel" repeatedly, even though the Cave of Two Lovers scene played out a little differently. When this ridiculous chorus resurfaces in Netflix's remake, fans of the original series will probably remember it from days past. This creates a strong sense of nostalgia. The moment is further poignant because the group of nomads singing the song resembles their animated counterparts almost exactly. The chorus of Secret Tunnel, which evokes blissful nostalgia, more than makes up for any disappointments regarding the lack of romantic build-up between the Last Airbender stars. It's a little disappointing that this scene didn't involve Aang, as it's used to important foreshadow his romance with Katara in the original show. Katara difficulties Chief Pakko because of Katara's gender. Master Pakko declines to give her instructions. One of the most significant scenes in Katara's arc is her duel with Master Pakko, and watching it unfold in real action brings back happy memories of the animated show. Even though Katara ultimately loses the duel, she fights skillfully enough to persuade Pakko to let the ladies help defend the Northern Water Tribe. Therefore, Katara still wins. In addition, the way this scene is put together resembles the original so much that it appears as though the animation could be based on the original rather than the other way around. Thus, there are two aspects of nostalgia brought up by Katara and Pakko's combat. First of all, witnessing her take such a significant stride in her path and exhibit her incredible bravery makes me feel the same way as I did when watching the animated series. Second, it's difficult to see the sequence without thinking of the animated version because it's so flawlessly portrayed. There aren't many scenes in Avatar: The Last Airbender where the animation is so perfectly adapted. Iroh extends a lovely cup of jasmine tea to Zuko. Iroh tries to get Zuko to have tea with him a lot. Iroh's attempt to cool down his irascible nephew by asking him if he'd like a cup of jasmine tea is another pivotal moment in the story of Iroh and Zuko's friendship. Their connection is wonderfully captured in this moment. The composed old uncle attempting to instill patience in his agitated nephew. Iroh's line, which can be heard so frequently in the original Avatar, The Last Airbender, is the cause of nostalgia in this scenario. In the anime series, Iroh has a slight obsession with tea and frequently asks Zuko to have a cup with him. In addition, he makes hints about his favorite tea, jasmine, and begs a number of characters to put down their work and have a cup with him. I can't help but smile when he makes a similar offer in Netflix's live-action Avatar, The Last Airbender, though, as it brings back memories of the original series. Aang consolidates with Ocean Spirit. As the Ocean Spirit, Aang destroys the fleet of the Fire Nation. When Aang unites with the Ocean Spirit and destroys the Fire Nation's fleet at the North Pole in Avatar, The Last Airbender Season 1, it is without a doubt the most incredible display of strength ever. In this scene, Aang's power is so great that it's difficult to think that any other Avatar could ever hope to defeat him. The adaptation on Netflix does a fantastic job of recreating this sequence as well, and fans may easily be transported back to their initial viewing of the animated series due to the shot construction's resemblance. Aang's movements in the city before facing the Fire Nation's fleet are almost exactly like in the animated series, and the same is true during his combat with the ships. This further connects the two sequences because it's a highly tense and emotionally charged scene in both the Netflix version and the original show. Watching the first Avatar, The Last Airbender inevitably brings back recollections of the same feelings of anxiety and stress in the present. Gran acts out the opening of the original show. Katara's line from the original theme song is taken by Gran. Gran's recitation of the opening to the original Avatar, The Last Airbender series is one scene that undoubtedly gives die-hard fans of the series chills. In the animated series, Katara gives the audience an overview of the show's world at the beginning of each episode by detailing the four nations' current states and the characteristics of the Avatar. When this classic opening was absent from Netflix's Avatar, The Last Airbender, it was a little unexpected, but it turns out the program had other ideas. Numerous memories of the animated series are brought back by Gran's performance of the introduction. Fans of the original show heard this little remark before every episode, and it became so embedded in their memories that some could have probably quoted it word for word. Another sign that Avatar, The Last Airbender did a good job of adapting the original series is the strong sense of nostalgia that is felt right now. Aang views the Southern Air Temple ruins. Aang tragically confirms the loss of his people upon seeing the ruins. When Aang first visits the Southern Air Temple after emerging from the iceberg and sees the remains of his home and the bones of his loved ones, it is one of the most moving scenes in both versions of Avatar, The Last Airbender. Both versions of the program have an equally emotional scene, and while there are a few minor alterations between them, Netflix's rendition of the scene was shot as nearly as possible to the animated version. This scene is one of the best in the remake because of the way it was shot and the familiar empathy it evokes in seasoned viewers. This has some very good acting as well, which adds to the sense of similarity to the animated series. That being said, this sentimental scene is essential to Netflix's translation of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and the fact that it was executed flawlessly is encouraging for the show's future.